want it? We want it now. When do we want it? Now. Interest, free money. Interest, free money. Money, we demand it, we demand it. Money. We want it now. When do we want it? Now. We want interest free. What do we want? Interest free money. We want it now. 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 Give us your money. Interest free. We want our money. Interest free. We want it now. We want it now. Interest free money. We demand it. We want it. We want it now. When do we want it? Now. Money. Interest-free money, interest-free money. We demand it, we want it now. When do we want it? Now. We want interest-free. What do we want? Interest-free money. We want it now. 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 Give us your money. Interest-free. We want our money. Interest-free. 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 Interest-free.
Have a look at Halliburton. 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 Have a look at Halliburton and the other American corporation that stole not only Iraq's money, but the money of the American taxpayer. The money of the American taxpayer. Have a look at the oil that you didn't even meter, that you were shipping out of the country and selling, the proceeds of which went who knows where, who knows where. Have a look at the $800 million you gave to American military commanders to hand out around the country without even counting it or weighing it. Have a look at the real scandal breaking in the newspapers today, revealed in the earlier testimony in this committee, that the biggest sanctions busters were not me or Russian politicians or French politicians. The real sanctions busters were your own companies with the connivance of your own government. Have a look at Halliburton. Have a look at Halliburton. I told the world, contrary to your claims, that Iraq had no connection to the atrocity on 9/11. Senator, in everything I said about Iraq, I turned out to be right and you turned out to be wrong. And 100,000 people have paid with their lives. 1,600 of them American soldiers sent to their deaths on a pack of lies. Pack of lies. Pack of lies.
Pack of lies. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is Tommy in Glasgow, Tommy Gold, Thomas J. Clark, Stuart Henderson, Crackpot McDougal, Our Mad Dog McDougall, take yours pick. Hardcore Uproar, and a tinfoil covered Skoda. Let me having you. You can contact the show on 0141 416 1888. Yes, contact the show 0141 416 1888. You can also contact us in Dublin 01 254 4567. You can contact us on our Boston number. You can get us on Boston on 617 963 0967. And now you can also get us down under on a Melbourne hotline. Our Melbourne hotline is 03 90 13 67 67. We've got it going down all across the fucking planet. The only number we've not got is one lined up for the moon, but we're wired to the moon. We don't need a number for that. We're on a hotline, Tommy in Glasgow. We had 2 wonderful calls last night. Absolutely wonderful. Maynard from our brother over in New Mexico. If you're there, Maynard, call us again, brother. I was so gutted that I couldn't get you back on for a 3-way call with a good brother, Richard. Richard, if you're there, call in. We want everybody. Call in tonight. It's 10:10 to 10:10. It's Crackpot McDougall time. We don't need any sellout fannies for Lennoxtown asking for Rangers to be catapulted back in because in his eyes he sees a boring league. We see a wonderful league with other competing teams and Celtic drawing points all over the place. Yes, bring it on. Celtic are losing games and other teams who are on a lesser budget are even coming up to beat us. Brilliant, beautiful stuff. Competition, yet some fannies are on snide. Who even wants to go in there? I mean, they're just fannies. Who needs Radio Snide? Nobody. We don't need them. We need Glasgow's Grieving White. We need Stephen Monaghan. We need Aurora Celtic. We need all the crackpots under the sun to tell 10 to tell 10. Not just to support Glasgow Radio Online, but to support Hail Hail Media and every other Celtic podcaster and broadcaster out there. Temporary Stand, Rebel Podcast, Paradise Preview, the Carluke Shamrock Boys, everybody that's doing podcasts Beyond the Waves. Sorry if I missed anybody out. Lost Boys, Homeboys, every crackpot boy out there who's doing it deserves and needs to be supported by as many people as possible. And so it's you people are out listening that I'm asking to tell as many people through tweets and through real life and as many people as possible. As soon as you see someone do as a parrot does, interact and counteract their nonsense, as soon as says someone comes up in your timeline, oh, and what's this person saying? Say, look, there's a podcast. So yesterday I'd put 7.5 hours. That's 7.5 hours with an hour and a half today. So that's 9 hours, and we're doing today's show in just 2 days. So very quickly, in another 50 minutes, that's 10 hours in 2 days, right? If I do more. But then there's other people who are doing brilliant shows as well. So why don't you tell other people at the right time? I've always got a busy time with Wayne's. Wayne's at that time, I'm always running about, and I meant to do it tonight. I put a thing on my Twitter saying, buy a mag here at Matt Magloan, buy an annual here at CQN, buy a book at Paul Larkin, Phil McGillivray, and listen to Homeboys, Hail Hail Media. And if you see people on at that time, then that's what you should be doing, diverting them, saying, go and listen to this podcast here. So if there's a show, if I'm doing it, then retweeting your Twineline, this crackpot, this fanny's just done a show here. Why don't you go and listen to him? The Hail Hail Media, if it's on the Monday and the Tuesday night, somebody's tweeting, hold on, if you listen to this, if you know listen to these boys, why about this one? How you know listen to this one? Give these boys a chance. God willing, I'd love to do it 24/7 and range it so that it's there all the time. God willing, that is my goal. And if you want to help me out and help me achieve that in whatever way, then that's the way forward that I would love to take it, so that we've got our own radio station 24/7, and then at different points people can feed in and they can put it out as live. So at a certain point of the night, it didn't have to be live. The ones who are doing, they want to do it, pre-recorded. they can do it, submit it, and then a certain time every week we know this is the first live broadcast, and the rest of the time it could be made of reruns, but a certain time every week, a headline act, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, taking on Radio Snide, the boys who down under, Graham over in what do you call it, some Fangita in the Middle East comes in and does it, and then another one. That is the way forward. We'll take them out with a wooden clout in a peaceful, radical, pacifist formation. There will be no Radio Snide in the future. They are back. Look how backdated. Look how crackpot. They're just. I mean, I've got four. I'm a Fangita and a tinfoil covered Skoda, and now I've got numbers all over the planet. Last count, 4 numbers in Melbourne, Boston, Dublin, and Glasgow, and on the Skype, Tommy in Glasgow. It's all there waiting to go down. There's a massive untapped market out there to get people on board for this experiment that Celtic fans can indulge yourselves in. The road is clear to experiment, to bring new things to new people. You know, for the what I've got here, a wee £11 software, £11 a month Spreaker, and then your Skype. You can pay for a wee subscription for your Skype. You get your calls and you set yourself up for a number. I mean, it's washers, absolute washers that could be done. And the sound quality, I mean, I've tried different stuff, Ustream and stuff that I paid for way back a couple of years ago. But this one, I know, I mean, it seems brilliant, the speaker. Any time I've listened to it, the sound quality, it's up there, it's good. It can be listened anywhere. My mods for Lennox down in my granny. Well, listen, get that Fanny up there. What's his name? That halfback that phones through all the time to Radio Snide. I caught him for about 5 minutes, and I mean, I'm driving about, and at certain times I go in and you hear it, and then, I mean, the night I heard him, I turned it away, and then later on I came back in, and then I heard some zombie moan. I was like, oh, here, away, and fling shite at the moon, you dafty. Because that's all there, know what I mean? So try not. My bit is by not interacting with him. That's a hard one for me. Believe you me, that is hard for me. Where I hear my bit, as soon as I hear somebody on there talking shite, I'm just itching to go on the phone and just fucking try and tell him he's a fanny or something, or to interject and say, hold on a minute. So it's very hard for me to listen to a programme. So the fact is, as soon as I hear someone talking shite, I just have to, oh, here, look, get to, and I turn it right off. So, but it's hard for me. I'm working through these addictions that I've had, you know. There's a show I had on earlier on, you know, how you deal with your addictions, and it's been strong-willed. You know, if you can break an addiction to nicotine, as I have done a couple of times, it's one of the hardest drugs to beat. You know, it's tremendous willpower. Then you can be strong, it can be done. It's all a question of the mind. Anything and everything can be done if you put your mind to it. I've read Think and Grow Rich, Talk and Grow Rich. Everything can be achieved by using your mind. Your powers of using the mind to achieve things is remarkable. So, we're doing a show tonight where it's 1:30 at night. It's Crackpot McDougall time. Tell 10 to tell 10. Retweet to retweet. Crackpot McDougall live on the air, broadcasting to the jilted generation of crackpots out there who are in need of entertainment and education. We can talk about anything. I'm well versed in every crackpot genre. We can talk about conspiracy theories up to the 9/11, JFK get blown away by the CIA, who killed Mahatma Gandhi, Diana, who killed her. We can talk about whatever you want. And of course, in less than about 10 hours time, depending how they get their fingers out at what time it's going on, is at 10:30 the preliminaries start. Celtic will find out our opponents at the end of February at Celtic Park, beginning of March away, who we're going to be playing, so we can discuss that. Or, as earlier on, I noticed in my timeline, there was a discussion on, sorry I couldn't interact, I was busy earlier on, to all the good people on there, but there was a video posted, I never got a chance to see it as yet. We were talking earlier on about the drugs, and how, say, I read one of the posts, someone said how every 10 years the USA needs a war. Yeah, that's the case. If you look at in the 40s, obviously they needed the high influx of money spent on its military-industrial complex. And then lo and behold, well, it was the 40s against the Nazis, the Second World War. In the 60s, then they had the war rush there against the terrible commies in the Soviet Union. And then again in the 80s, the arms race, Star Wars, Ronald Reagan. And they all thought, oh, this is all gone away, this is all okay. But then, boom, 2001, we get hit with a new space odyssey. An alien from outer space called George W. Bush blows up the Twin Towers. And we're in to the biggest military spending programme the world has ever seen. The biggest arms deal in history that was happened to be sitting in the wings, waiting to be signed, sealed to Lockheed Martin for over 250 billion. Along with the 8,000 troops stationed in India waiting to go in and invade Afghanistan. Along with the Patriot Act, a hefty document, thousands of pages waiting, sitting there, already drafted and ready to go. Yes, you need to be away with the fucking fairies if you believe the conspiracy theory that is given by the Commission, the 9/11 Commission. Absolutely bullshit. No people who were witnesses at the time in New York or Washington were ever allowed into the official 9/11 Commission. Another whitewash. We all know that. People with a brain, people who know the real truth, don't believe the bullshit or the lies that was being spun. Right, we've got an added request here. How you doing there? What's this? You're in, my man, you're in. Anthony, give us a call. You're in, T, you're in. If you want to give us a call, the lines are open. We've got 3 new interactions we're looking on. Claire Campbell, God bless you, sister. Anthony Lockhart, last 16, green and white. And we've got a call coming in here. There we go. Live and direct with a crackpot. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. What's your name, caller? And they're gone. I'll phone you back. It's a one ring sting. Here we go. We'll get you back right on.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi, how you doing, mate? It's Tommy in Glasgow.
Alright, mate, I don't know if you do
Alright, mate, I'm doing a show tonight. You know why to join the show, no?
what kind of show is it, but?
Anything, mate. We'll talk about anything. Conspiracy theories, 9/11, Celtic, Sevco, the draw tomorrow.
Who you hoping to get in the draw tomorrow?
Whom I want to get? I'll take anybody, mate. To actually be there is just a victory, a victory for justice in itself, is it not?
Aye.
Who you want yourself?
I'm wanting Malaga, Man United.
Aye, Malaga would be nice. A wee bit of sunshine and warm weather in March would be nice, wouldn't it?
Aye.
Man United would be good for the handiness of being in just down the road, I suppose. But do you think that's our best chances? Do you think we get a chance against either of these two teams that we get through then, do you reckon?
If we can beat Barcelona, we can beat them.
Exactly, mate. There should be no fear of any team. Is there a team that you would want to avoid? Is there a team if you go, ah, shit, I didn't really want to name now, would you, like Bayern Munich, would you want to avoid? I mean, I've always liked Juventus as a team way back when I was a boy. Used to be Platini playing for Juventus. I was quite fond of them. But I would like to get a chance to maybe go back there, but get revenge for the time when we get punted, remember, under Martin O'Neill. Was there a team you would like to avoid, my man?
Aye, probably Dortmund, mate.
Dortmund, aye. I heard that Murdo McLeod saying, oh, he wanted that fucking Dortmund. But yeah, have you watched a lot of German football in the past? Are they quite tasty, the Dortmund team, aye?
Aye, the fans are nutters.
Aye, they're a bit fucking, I know, they're a bit fanatical, the old Dortmund boys, aren't they?
Aye.
So aye, will you be trying to go away if you get a thing? Will you try to go over to it yourself, or are you
I'm going to go to a away game.
Aye.
Saving up for Wembley.
I know, well that's what I was looking at. I was looking at it going thinking, well, how can we? Well, if you don't really want, I mean, if you're going to go all to the away games and then we've got Wembley, at least we've not got far to go. If we've managed to get to Wembley, it's just a bus journey or a train journey down the road. I mean, it's not far to go to get to Wembley, but
Aye,
hopefully we can do some damage, mate. Where do you
aye.
think we can get to? I mean, in all honesty, I mean, Wembley. Do you reckon the semi-finals, quarter-finals can be achieved?
I think we can get the quarterfinals.
You reckon we can do
I
it?
hope we
Aye.
can get the quarterfinals.
It's all about getting a good draw at this first one because we're playing a first leg at home. Would you prefer to play the first leg at home or would you prefer the first leg away?
Aye, I prefer the first leg away, and it drops the nerves. It
Aye.
drops the nerves. If it drops the nerves, then you got the second leg at home, and you can go and relax. If you win that away game, you can go and relax at home.
Aye, totally, totally. And do you reckon who do you reckon's our key player? I mean, do you reckon we'll keep a hold of Wanyama for it?
Nah, I don't think we'll keep a hold of him. I think he'll go to January.
You reckon? Aye. I've not heard anything about his contract. Is that still stalled? Aye, there's nothing came through on that yet. No.
I think his agent wants him to go.
See, I mean, it'd be half his nut to go somewhere, and unless he's getting Man United or Barcelona, if he's got an agent there saying go to fucking Aston Villa or Sunderland or something like that, he wants to chase his fucking agent down the road and say, look, hold on, which 3-4 months? Because, I mean, he could be underselling himself, because if he steps out with Celtic at Wembley, I mean, his value and his contract just goes fucking through the roof, because he'll be the main
Aye,
player at taking us there. So why would they want to fucking sell himself short? I mean, if I was him, I mean, if he's got belief in himself, and I have belief in that boy, like I think a lot of Celtic fans have, that he's a real fucking deal. And the way he played against Barcelona, it was no coincidence in those two games that he was our best player, and he ran the fucking show against Xavi and Iniesta in that midfield. I mean, he played brilliantly,
aye.
and I hope he stays there because he's key to your run, mate. So I mean, do you reckon there is it? Who would you have you heard anything, mate, or do you know anything? Have you heard anything where he could be going?
No, I've not heard it. I've heard that Aston Villa want him, but
See, there you go. I
I
mean,
heard
what
that.
would they want? What would they want to fucking go to a team like that for? I mean, if it was Man United, but then even if it was to go to one of these other teams, he couldn't play for the team for the rest of the season. So it's a fucking, I don't know.
He won't get any European football either.
Aye, I know. That's it. That's it.
He,
I mean,
he's got,
but
he's got guaranteed. He's got guaranteed a European football when he's playing for Celtic.
I know, and he must be. I mean, even at this age, he must look ahead and say, well, I've got another good 10, 15 years ahead of the game. He's going to be making millions every year, so it's not a case of he's not going to be rich. I mean, even God forbid anything was bad to happen, he only had a couple of years at it, he's still going to make a few million out of it anyway. He's going to be sorted, but I mean, he shouldn't even be thinking of the money side of it. He should be thinking, with a team who's got a chance or can do something, why not play for them for the rest of the season? I'll be fucking if he leaves, mate. Then I don't even want to go there. Know what I mean? Because it
Aye.
would disappoint a lot of people. He should at least stay out to the end of this season and then take it as far as we can go. Because with this young team, we've got a chance. I mean, we'll just have to. If we can, like you said there at the start, if we can beat Barcelona, would you take? What's the other one? Paris Saint-Germain. Who would you say is the dark horses?
I'm not really sure, man. Just why I avoid the good teams.
I know Dortmund. There's ones that's talking about stadiums. I mean, there's a stadium I would love to go to. Is the Bayern Munich Stadium? Is it a stadium or a place? I've not been in. I know they changed the one in the Deli Alpi in Juventus, like a new stadium. But is there a place you would want to go just for the stadium alone that you've not been to?
I would like to go to Malaga. Apparently, the pubs over there are brilliant.
In Malaga, aye. Well, last time I was there for a game was actually 1982. I never got into many pubs. We'll say that when I was on the duty in Porto Banús in the harbour, but I was getting into the wee pub there to watch the games. But when I went to Malaga, so I'm looking forward to a wee chance to get a bit of sunshine. That I mean, because we're
Aye.
severely lacking in the old vitamin D for the sunshine over here in the winter. That I mean, so to get a wee bit of early sunshine, that I mean, that'd be a fucking bonus. So. Aye, so the stadium will be the stadium over there. Oh, is that somebody giving us a call? I've got another call for somebody. We can add them in. Somebody texting. I can't see here, mate. Sorry. I'm just doing this all myself anyway. I know. Thanks for phoning in and enjoying us, mate. What was your name? Sorry, bro. You can use a dummy name if you want to. Ben.
Yeah, have you ever had the Billy Noel?
Aye.
That's my dad.
You're kidding me on, is it?
I'm not kidding on, mate.
Fucking brilliant, mate. Tell him I love him, mate. I was played before I did my show yesterday. I get tuned into it. I was batting out all his tunes. Like before I did my show for about half an hour, I was batting out a few of his tunes, mate. Yeah, tell him I was asking for him, mate, and I'd love to get him on as a wee chat for a show. So anytime he's wanting, mate, tell him to come on, mate. I'd love him to come on. I mean, I do shows at mad random times, like fucking, what time's it now? 20 to 2 in the morning, mate. And last night I was on about 2:30, so. But and then sometimes I do it during the day. I really need to set myself, but it's hard with having a family. But it's 6 o'clock. I should really try and go toe to toe with these fannies and Clyde, but maybe in the new year, God willing. But yeah, no, I'd definitely love, mate, to even do a chat with your dad at any point, mate. It would be fucking.
Aye, you can follow him on Twitter and you can and stuff. His name it's just his name on it. And I'm Mark McPherson 67.
What? You added me on Twitter the new, mate? Aye.
I'm following you. That's how I got the number.
Right, well, give me a tweet, mate, then, so to make sure I'm following you as well, mate. And then I think I'm following your dad as well. Put a thing me for your dad, and then I'll get onto it as well, aye.
If he's awake then I'd go and get him, but I don't think he's awake now.
Oh, it's alright. No, don't time me, mate. No. I'd have him fucking singing a tune, mate, if you got him on the note this time. So does he make all the tunes himself then? Is it him that just composes them himself, aye?
He takes his songs and then he just writes his own words up.
Fucking brilliant. Aye, no, it's quality, mate. His tunes are just absolutely dynamite. They're just... And the videos, and how about the videos? Does he do them himself, or how does it go with that?
He said the recent Christmas one.
Aye.
Let's all laugh this Christmas.
Aye, I seen that one. That was cool.
My sister that's in that, the bottom, the elves. And my
was it, aye?
Neighbours. Aye.
Brilliant stuff, mate. I was asking him fucking... when he's wife, we got a chat with him, mate, and... Cause I love his tunes, mate. I mean, the way he takes on it. The only thing is, right, see, when see, when I did the show yesterday, right, I put all his tunes, because I've not been playing his tunes in my shows, right, because when it goes through to my YouTube, see what I've done, I put, once I put my show on my software stuff that I've got, I grab it does it automatically, and I go and grab it off of YouTube, so I post that on my blog site. But what happens is if I put, because your dad's ripping off the tunes of all the old ones that are fucking heavy copyrighted, then it means for some of them, because I remember I put out a couple and it stopped me putting it onto YouTube, and I was like shit, I don't want to do it, so it stops me doing that for different ones. So like, yesterday I was like, I'll just gather a whole load of them in. I'm going to do that again when I do a wee long show. I'll start it off with 4 or 5 tunes of your dad's or whatever, and then just stop it, do a wee bit there, and because I can't remember what tune it was, but there was one tune I think, and I think it was when I put a medley of stuff myself. I think I put Taxman, put the Beatles one, and a few other ones, and I put a few your dad's in, and then it just was like it wouldn't let me do a YouTube video, and I was like, shit, what was that all about? So, and I kind of found out that you can't use copyrighted stuff, so unless it was your dad's full music and without thing with, then I was like, well, but mate, his stuff is absolutely fucking phenomenal, mate. I've loved all his stuff, mate. This came out brilliant.
You can get CDs and DVDs and all that.
Well, listen, post me the link for that as well, mate. Post me the link for your thing, mate, as well. I get free publicity, mate, and get people out there buying his CDs, mate. I want one, mate. I want to buy one now as well, mate. I want to play this through my wee fucking... my CD in the high, because I'm a lazy bastard. I know I could burn it all off, mate, but fuck, I'd rather get it to your hing, mate.
I did tweet you there saying alright, mate, so...
Brilliant, buddy, brilliant.
I'll tell him to give you a phone tomorrow.
Aye, mate, well, my number's there, mate. The number's there. It comes through, even when we're not doing a show, it comes through to my mobile anyway, mate, so the Glasgow number's there. And unless you're over in Melbourne or Boston, mate, take your pick wherever you are. I'll have a number in every fucking port of town.
The East Kilbride, mate.
The East Kilbride, aye.
Aye, the Paul Larkin book launch, eh?
No, mate, I never managed to get there, no, for the thing, man. No, did you go yourself? Your dad went, didn't he, aye?
Aye, me and my dad went.
Aye. Aye, no, I didn't make it that night, no, but hopefully the next time I'll manage it along.
Aye.
Aye, that's right, aye, so it was a good time, held there by everybody. Went to the old bar mitzvah king with the buffet king there, old parrot.
Aye. Aye.
He was,
It was a good
did you
night.
see how, did you see a few other people? Who else was there? Was there a good few people
I'm
there, aye?
Matt McGowan was there.
Aye, he's a good boy, Matt, isn't he?
Aye. He's met my dad too.
Aye. Aye, so has your dad got any more tunes coming out after the Christmas time? Is he taking a break or is he just batting out the tunes? It's always topical. I mean, the tunes are always like, on the ball for like fucking shit that's happening. I mean, I always love that. The fact that it's always like, on topic, and obviously the Christmas one. Has he got one coming up for the new year? Is he done one for the IPO or whatever, or the shares?
I think he's got one coming soon.
Is he?
I think he's going to get a New Year one on the go.
Is he? Aye.
Aye.
That's good, mate. Right, I've got your ears and Mark into it, aye.
Aye, smart.
Right, got you there, buddy, aye. Right, mate, aye, that's brilliant, mate. I'll add you on the thing with him on the Twitter now.
Aye.
Right, got it there. Come on, this wee computer takes forever. Ah, there we go, mate. Got you there, Mark, brilliant. Right, Mark, well, thanks for phoning in, mate. Thanks for taking the time to hang me. Till 10 to tell 10, as they say, mate. Tune into all the Celtic media and sack Clyde and all the other bastards. That's the way forward, isn't it? To tell as many people as possible, not just to listen to a crackpot like me, but whale media's got loads of people from all over the place doing different stuff and then different books and different artists and all adds to it. That's the way forward. Do you agree as well then, buddy? Aye.
Aye.
Oh, I think I'm losing the hangman here. I'm losing the plot, mate. Bill's losing the line here. Right, okay, buddy. I'll let you go now then. I'll speak to you later, right? God bless, mate. Cheerio. Right. Oof, this wee plug is absolutely roasting here. My wee charger. Charger's gone on fire. Right, so we're live and direct in a tinfoil covered Skoda. Billy Noel is a hero, says Claire Campbell. New Year hit coming out, Tommy. Yes, we got the exclusive there. Billy Noel, a New Year hit coming out. You got CDs out there. Send me the link as well, brother. Send me the link. North East boy, how you doing, green and white? Brian. Right. Well, who was that posted? Who posted a message? Yeah, let's go down recent ones. Hold on, what's this? T, Australia. There's a brother there over in Australia. G'day, Sport, how you doing? No mic, so I can't call, but to go with your current call, I'd love us to get Juventus, get some revenge for Amoruso diving back in 2001. Was that fucking Amoruso? No big Lorenzo Amoruso, was it? Fucking dirty bastard. Right. Oh, hold on. A call coming in here. Hello.
Thomas.
Hi, who's that?
It's Richard here. How you getting on?
No bad, bro. Yourself? How you keeping?
Grand. Here, tell you, just a quick call. What do you think about the amalgamation between the Russian leagues?
Yeah, I've not heard it fully. What other leagues? Tell us more for those who don't know. I've heard a wee bit about it, but there's a few leagues that are joining together.
And I think it was Belarus, Ukraine, and Russia. Look as if they got an approval from UEFA to amalgamate, which would then leave the door open. You know, you would think to Celtic join the Premiership, which means we could get out of that shitey league once and for all.
Has it been approved?
Sevco miles behind.
This would be ideal time to do it. With them well away, if we got
Oh,
out
yeah.
now, then that's it. But how has it been approved? Has it been made official?
I think it's close to it. I think it will go through.
But how would they go then? Plus, would we break away? I mean, if it's a league's all amalgamating, so would that then allow? Because the thing that the people have spoke about is they wouldn't allow it to happen because then there wouldn't be a national team.
International. Yeah.
But so if these clubs, these countries are allowed to keep their national team and amalgamate, so that would take that away. But how would it go then? A lot of the people have been saying for all this time, Celtic and the old bastards would go away and leave the league. So what do you reckon would be the best formula? We would love to go. I would love to go, like you said there, and leave them away on the other side of the world. But if they're saying the leagues have got to go, then that'll leave them the option to fucking get in there at some point.
I'm not quite sure. Obviously, we're waiting on more information to come out, but the very fact it's getting discussed at UEFA, beforehand, it would have been a complete no.
Correct.
So, I mean, obviously, UEFA are looking at things from a financial side of things as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, our supporter base, things keep going the way they're going. Essentially, Scottish football could die, We're struggling.
Yeah, because...
and we're getting further behind the Champions League. I mean, we have to play more and more qualifiers because of how we've performed over the last few years. I personally, I'd love to get into the Premiership. I think it'd be a fantastic thing. As I said, I live down in London. A lot of guys down here I know, and to be fair to them, West Ham, Man U, Liverpool fans, they all reckon that, Celtic, Arsenal fans, they reckon that Celtic would be in the top 6 after about the third year.
Yeah. I mean, for me to go down there, I remember I went down, it must have been 10, 12 years ago, I went to a Newcastle game, and some of my mates were ribbing at the time, going, "Oh, you're way down there. You're a turncoat. Imagine leaving Celtic." But it was just for a different experience. It was a couple of hours drive down the road. At the time,
yeah, I did that with Man U. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different experience. You can have a drink in the ground if you like, and the game at the time, the thing that I took from it was that the away team came out and had a game, and Newcastle playing at home were involved in a game, and I went away and thought, when I go back up the road, I'm going to watch Celtic, apart from the odd game, right? And we know who that odd game was against the odd cunts. Apart from that, and even against them, right? Even against them, they would come and sit with 10 at the ball, 10 behind the ball. So that isn't football. So just in that one game, I thought, well, hold on, if we went down to England, we might not win every game, but at least a team would be coming up and taking us on a game of football, or at least come in, instead of sitting there with parting the bus and doing the 10 behind the thing, they would at least come up and challenge us and give us a game. So, I mean, that would fit into the conversation we spoke about last night. We don't see ourselves as a club that has any divine right to win every game. And would we take or accept mid-league Premier League football for a period, as opposed to winning it and challenging in Europe, and as it happens in the Scottish? And I, for one, would put my name down. So would you accept then mid-league mediocrity for a period and, like you say, wait for hopefully a couple of years where with our size we could rise to the top?
I think you'd have to accept it, but I think, with the money that you would gain, I mean, put it this way, Champions League, you got Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool in the UEFA Cup. You remember the excitement that generated.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine you were having that every second week.
Coming to Parkhead, exactly.
Coming to Parkhead. And I would be. Do you know that actually outside the Celtic Park, underneath the car park, it's piled?
Yeah.
So that they can jack the stadium up and build an extension up over the north stand or the main stand.
Yeah.
So, if we were into the Premiership, not only would you have the money, which is major money, but the sponsorship deals would also increase.
Yeah.
The interest of players then would go, well, why would I want to go to Bolton or Swansea when I can go to an 80,000-seater stadium, loyal, passionate fans, and go and play in front of that, and I'm playing the same teams.
Yeah. I mean that's what would.
So it gives so many marketing. I mean, look how we do. We're a tiny country with one X team and one team in the Champions League. Look at the interest it generates.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a fantastic thing. And really, I mean, people might disagree with me, but I couldn't really care about Scotland. I'll never forget, Brian McClure getting booed.
That's true, mate. Less than 20 years ago.
Yeah. So Celtic is all I care about. And the other teams in Scotland, I hope Aberdeen and Dundee United do well. Don't wish them any ill harm whatsoever. But, we're a massive club, and I do think football in Europe's got no other option but to go into this type of thing. I think there may be a European league, because the other clubs need more competition.
Stay there and I'll phone you straight back. Stay there, Richard, stay there, hold on. The quality in the line was just degenerating ever so slightly, and since a quick call can sort it all out, why not do it? And we'll fill the time here. Should be coming back on.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. Welcome to the O2 message.
Oops. You should have done the one ring sting and I'd have phoned you back, saved your credit. I get free calls here.
Tommy, how you doing?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, you should have said, mate, I'd have phoned you back, mate. I've got my free subscription with us. No, just when I could hear it crackling a wee bit, then that's showing me that it's my wee netbook can't cope with, and there might be a bit of interference for everybody else. So just a wee quick call to change it.
Aye. What do you think yourself? What do you think about how we get on in the Premiership?
As I say, I would be more than happy to, if we were fighting a relegation battle for the first year or two, and even when they get relegated, I wouldn't be on the TV like all the rest of the fans greeting all we're relegated. You just got to take your medicine, go on with it. But I think however they would get us in there, we would take it, and however it would go, I would take it just for the knowledge that we've broke away from a restriction that for a club of our size and potential and ability and where we want to be or where we see ourselves, playing against Barcelona, Juventus, Man United on a regular basis or playing in the Premier League, the restriction of Scotland, the phrase "a big fish in a small pond," it's made for us, So we have outgrown it, and we need that. So, and whatever comes of it, and whatever happens, it may take 1, 2, 3, 5 years to find our level, but as sure as night follows day, we'll be close to being near the top because our size, and like you say, we're one of the tops. There's only one that outstrips us so far down there, and that's Manchester. The rest, we're equal with Arsenal, we're ahead of Liverpool, we're ahead of everyone else. So you bolt on a top tier, you get 80,000. The biggest stadium in British football is there, and the atmosphere is just through the roof compared to all the rest. So the selling points, we tick so many boxes. Added to that, the fans that we take or we would take anywhere down there. So, and the other bonus is we take us anywhere. We're good fans. It's not a case of, because a lot of the times, if maybe that's the reason why they might take us in now, because they wouldn't want to take us in when the other shite lot are there causing their damage and rampaging. So maybe they might say, oh, well, they're Celtic. You don't get any bother about them. Bring us in. Maybe this was been the long-term goal for way back for Fergus McCann to stop us singing the Republican tunes at games, and I've always been a staunch person for you know. But anyway, but maybe this is the way forward, because a lot of the problem that the English might have had was our continued and perceived support of what they classify as terrorists, you know. So obviously, quote unquote, but well, the British state is obviously the biggest terrorist state on the planet, or one of them. But the people down there, you know, their view of it. So maybe with us, we've got our act all together, and maybe this is the ideal and the best opportune moment to jump at it. And hopefully Peter Lawwell, Dermot Desmond are in there muscling in and getting it sorted, because it's got to be done, mate. And would you be going all around the English grounds then? I mean, obviously you're in London, getting to all the games there, but would you be going further afield, mate? Would you be taking trips to, you know, up to the Midlands or whatever?
Oh, I would, but I'll tell you one thing. I think it'd be a nightmare trying to get tickets for a Celtic away game.
Yeah.
Because the demand would be huge. I mean, you look at Roy Keane's testimonial, midweek game testimonial. They take 25,000.
Yeah.
I mean, there's clubs that can't get that at their home game. I mean, I don't know if you're in Seville. I was there in Seville.
Yeah.
You know, there's talking 80-odd thousand. I couldn't put my finger on how many were there, but I'll tell you one thing, that city was, and I know Seville very well, and it was just awash with Celtic fans. You couldn't.
I went in to get a drink because there was a queue that just wound round and round and round for drinks, and it was about an hour before the game, and I thought, I'll be fucking dead before I get to the front, and I'll not see a bit of the game. So I thought, hold on a minute, I'm always trying to think ahead, jump ahead of the crowd by going a different way, and you might get there quicker. And I thought, hold on, Porto, they've only got a wee pissant support, I'll get in there quicker. Sure enough, there's a queue about 2 people in front, and I'm like, yes. So I grabbed on board juices and all that, right, and I fired it over to my wee cousin who was just on the other side, fired in the drinks, and as I was coming back, I thought, and I looked across, I thought, and it was maybe about 20 minutes before kick-off, and the place was just filling up. Celtic fans were singing, and I thought, that is the most beautiful sight, and I kept walking down and down in amongst the portal, and as I was getting further down, I've got the yellow away tap on, and some guys like that in English, Ultras, go away, we crazy. Listen, it says, we're Celtic, this is our stadium, and I was just amazed, because I just kept walking down, I wasn't looking at the portal, I just wanted to get down to the bottom, because as I was looking in there the end, looking round at a stadium full of green, I was like rubbing my eyes going, and I was like, well, it's certainly no Parkhead because it's fucking sweltering degrees here, but it looks like Parkhead. I mean, it's just, and I went, but it's not, but it was just the most amazing, beautiful sight to look in their wee corner of that stadium. I mean, there must have been 80, 90,000, it looked like 80, 90,000 to me Celtic fans in the 3 quarters, or whatever it was. It was the most beautiful sight seen in my life, just seeing that. I mean, I never got a picture because I never had a camera or anything at the time. It was before fucking phone cameras, but just seeing that sight from there, from that wee corner and all around me, it gives me bumps even now thinking about it, mate. Whereabouts were you yourself?
I was right next to the Porto fans.
From where they were, from what end were you from them? Were you?
I was at the Celtic end, but right next to where the Celtic fans met the Porto fans. I was like halfway up the stadium. Yeah.
Behind where the
right in the middle. Right.
No, but behind from the goals, from behind where the benches were you on that side of it, on the opposite side? Yeah. That's where I was.
Behind the benches.
Yeah, that's where I was.
I think it's where the sun was coming in direct, and I was halfway up the stadium, and the sunshine was just coming right up.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it nearly burnt the jeans onto my legs. I had to move up.
Oh,
because
that day
it's
was
just,
roasting, wasn't it? That day was just the most fucking...
I was awful, and I kept thinking, how in the name of Christ are these players going to manage to play a game of football in this heat?
I know. I mean, we always said that
I
John
could just
Hartson...
imagine Rad Douglas coming out like Rudolph.
I know. We always said John Hartson might have been the difference that day, but we really needed John Hartson. I don't know how he could have done it. We really needed a cool temperature for John Hartson to be able to operate in that night, because...
Yeah, do you know what? I wish Lubo hadn't hung his boots up. I think he would have made a difference in that game.
Yeah.
Man, I've checked. I think he would have been in his element there, you know.
And Martin O'Neill would have nursed him through. I mean, he was putting him in for certain games, and Martin would have known, you know, even like you say, if he only got half an hour, 40 minutes, we brought him on the last 20 minutes of normal time, and then you get 30 minutes time where you're right, you know. It was all ifs, buts, and maybes then, and was that bastard Mourinho for that night. And I've been to one of the best nights I was at was El Clasico when Barca beat those bastards 5-0, and there was everybody shouting "Puta, puta Mourinho, puta." and every time I've been there to see that bastard getting beat, I remember where I was, just as I say, behind, next to the Porto, but on the same back where the benches were. And when Celtic scored that equalising goal, I saw that bastard Mourinho like gesturing his hands to his players to sit back, as it was if he thought, hold on, this team, what the fuck, how can we beat this team? They look dangerous. They've only had a couple of chances and they've scored both their fucking goals. Yeah, we've had all the possession, and I could see him saying, pull it back. And something happened. I mean, when he scored that first goal, I thought, if these bastards score in the last minute or the last thing, we were fucked. We're never going to get a chance to even get the ball back, because even the first goal, they were allowed to celebrate for about fucking 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So that was just.
The Russian. It was a Russian striker, wasn't it? Scored. He went off in a half marathon.
Yeah, I know. He ran the furthest all night. It's just after he scored the goal. He never fucking. It was fucking. Derley, who's it?
I'll tell you one thing I loved about because I was living in Ireland at the time, and basically what happened was I was over for the semi-final against Porto. I mean, Boavista.
Yeah.
Over in Porto, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I came back, and my boss picked me up from the airport. He said, "Right, Richard, you know, you've had your time off to go and see Celtic. You know, you can't go to the final." I said, "You fucking joking me?" I said, "I'll just put my resignation in now." He went, "Oh, you're not serious, are you?" I went, "Fucking I'm going to that final. Nothing's stopping me."
Well, I managed to get.
But I'll tell you, it was a fantastic experience. I mean, it made me so proud.
I know. I managed to get a ticket through a method of almost similar. My auntie get denied going. She went to Boavista. She went down to Liverpool, Blackburn. She even went to Celta Vigo. She was everywhere. She went to everyone. And she's a teacher. And she was greeting, and she was calling him a hun bastard who turned her down, who was denied her to go. She'd asked for permission and denied her to go, and she got one of my aunties, who I just gave the season ticket up a few years before my auntie and uncle took over, and they got one in the ballot through Celtic for that one. So my uncle got that, and then my auntie applied through UEFA a way back when it was in the thing, and she got two. So my wee cousin, he was going, and it was meant to be my auntie, so I was just out in the cold, but in the last minute, my auntie get turned down, and then I was in there, and I did feel guilty. I mean, that I hadn't been. I felt a real big game hunter, that I hadn't been to many games in like 2-3 years, because I'd gave up my ticket and was bringing up my family. But I mean, I did feel guilty for about half a nanosecond, and I thought, fucking hell. I was there when that wee shite Maurice Johnston scored against us in the last minute at the shite house. I was there when they fucked us 5-1, spitting on us and throwing coins when I was in the enclosure. When Ray Wilkinson scored, I was in the enclosure when they came back for 2-0 down at the game when McAvenny gets sent off and those other fuckers, where again they were spitting on us and fucking throwing darts down, I remember, and hitting me coins. And then
Do you remember Mark McNally, the defender? The Celtic defender?
Aye.
See his father, it's a true story. Himself and his wife were invited as guests of Rangers at an Old Firm game at Ibrox. And they were also in the director's area. And the people around there obviously twigged who he was, or somebody knew, and it got around. And do you know, at half time he had to get up and leave with his collar up because he was covered in spit.
Dirty bastards. Yeah, I mean, I remember that was going back. Dirty bastard, were spitting down from the main fucking stand. You would have thought they had some fucking dignity. But that was a time when I was going back 88, and I remember somebody getting stabbed on the way out in the arse. Because the way the segregation was, they used to let these cunts fucking cut across. So Celtic fans would be coming out the enclosure, and they would be cutting across, they'd be coming out, and there'd be cunts. I remember there was 2 or 3 cunts get stabbed, Celtic fans get stabbed, with some of these bastards walking out, cutting across, and they put us, that was when they put us in the enclosure, and that must have been, well, the last time I was in that enclosure, so that wee fucking Judas, that was 89, I was in the Broomlawn then, and I think it was, so it'd be 88, 89, I remember I was in 88, 88, I was in it, aye, so that would be the last fucking year, it'd be 88 probably. I remember I was in it when Ray Wilkinson scored, and they came back with old Julie Andrews in goal, we were 1-0 up, and ended up getting fucking horse 5-1, and those bastards that are spitting on us from the top of the thingy, they're singing happy birthday to us, because that was when we fucking, that was just after it was in the centenary year, but it was a year after we'd won it, you know, the season after. Dirty bastards. So yeah, I thought, well, when I went to Seville, I'd put, even though I hadn't put the footwork in and the miles in previously, I thought, well, that season or the season before, I thought, well, fucking hell, I've been through a lot of bad times with Celtic, at least I fucking. But yeah, that night was, for me, even though we get beat in that night, just to be there and to say I'd seen what had happened, and never thinking that, and probably thinking, well, will I ever be alive again to see us in a European final? And I thought, well, do you know what? Even if I'm not alive, at least I can fucking say I've seen it once. At least I can say it, that I've been there and seen my team do it, and the world would know that the best team get beat and the cheats fucking won that night. So for me, and as I said to my daughter the day earlier on when I was driving along earlier on, is like, don't let anybody negative spoil your positive attitude. You know what I mean? Why let their negativity fucking make you feel sad? So although their negativity and the cheating and the bad sportsmanship from Porto was just beyond belief, the moral victory was for us, because the world saw, you know, Celtic fans, there's many as it was that went there, not one arrest. I mean, and the way we played the game and the way we tried our heart, and we didn't try cheating methods, you know. So we were the true victors there, like we spoke about last night.
Oh, you know, the world's seen what Celtic fans were like as well. You know, we're a welcome club in Europe, unless it's Hamburg. You ever been over to St. Pauli?
No, well, I went. No, I've not been. No, I nearly got over to Hamburg, but something went awry on the way over to Hamburg the last time. But I'll not go that way now. But crack on. What was happening in St. Pauli? No, I remember first time I met a St. Pauli fan. It was in Heritage Bar over in the south side once, and this was going back years ago. And I don't know if this was in the link when it first started, but it was a way back, maybe the centenary or whatever, 87, 88, 89. And I remember seeing some boys for St. Pauli, and the link's been gone for a long time now. But tell us, have you got a story there, bro?
No, I've never been over, but I was on the tube going up to Euston to go and see Celtic. There's a pub there called the Cock Inn, and it's not a gay pub. I thought it was a good joke. And it's for the London CSC go, and it's a good shop to go watch the games. So I was on the tube going up to River and Hoops, going up to Youth, because it's just around the corner from it. And there were about 4 or 5 St. Pauli fans on the tube. Fucking hell, the next thing all 4 of them come running up to me, and I thought, Jesus Christ, are these guys going to attack me or something? Next thing they're like hugging me and what's your name and we love Celtic and we love St. Pauli and all this kind of, it was brilliant. I said, well, where are you guys going? And they said, oh, we're going to some pub. And I said, well, why don't we come to the Celtic pub and watch the Old Firm game? And it was the one where Samaras at Ibrox scored the 2 goals.
Right.
And they just had a fantastic time, it was great. It's great. I love that. I mean, wherever you go in the world, people come up to you there in the hoops. And, they want to talk to you.
Hello, you there, mate?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, the call's going, mate. I'll phone you back, right? 2 seconds. You
All
there?
right.
Hold on. The call quality was just deteriorating there ever so slightly. This is Crackpot Radio. On the pig.
Tommy, how you doing?
Yeah, no bad, buddy, no bad.
I'll tell you, I'd love to get over to see Santos Laguna over in Mexico.
Yeah.
You know the club we're twinned with?
Yeah. What division? Are they in the top flight over there, yeah?
I think they are, aye. I think they are.
Yeah.
I think they've been coming up.
There's a team I would love to go and see over there in Chile, Palestino. And there's a Palestinian community in Chile, yeah, called Palestino. And
Right.
I watched the game. They played a team called Tulka Rangers. Tulka Rangers. I never got to see the full game, but I was watching it, and for me, I was like, this is a new firm derby for me. Palestina against Tulka fucking zombies. And I think it finished a man each draw. I'd watched the game, I never seen any goals, and I was like, fucking. But yeah, there's a team over in Chile, Palestino. There's also a club. I went to a game. It was in Amsterdam. It was Ajax against Roman Catholic Club, RKC it's called. And I think they're in the 2nd division. And they're called Roman Catholic Club. Actually called Roman Catholic Club.
That's mental. Yeah, well, before I go, what's your funniest experience you've had as a Celtic fan?
Funniest? God, I need to think of one. 2:15 in the morning, you're putting pressure on me, brother. The funniest? I don't know, you give me one. What have you got one to think of?
Yeah?
Have you got anything to think of funniest moment? I'm trying to think.
I was hoping you'd come up with one first, while I was just thinking of later.
Funniest moment.
I think one of the best ones on the pitch was when Paulo Di Canio was playing Dunfermline, and he was just ripping the piss out of them. And you could see them getting more and more angry. Yeah?
Yeah.
And 2 of them ran to take him out, and he was like sandwiched in between, and he just stepped over the ball and let it go. But the 2 Dunfermline defenders couldn't pull back, and they ran, their knees hit first, and then their heads like kind of sprung up and nearly knocked each other out. The 2 of them are lying there down on the floor. That was funny. Must get that on YouTube.
Inspiration just came to me there when a fox crossed over in front of the motor, so I would have to go for the boycott night in the Fox, and I was reading that down in the Daily Rancid the next day, which was just, I mean, to buy the Daily Rancid was a rare feat, because in the local shop where I was doing in England, they only brought in about 2 or 3 copies, and if you didn't get there by a certain time, the other Scots in the area would snap it fucking up. So it was hit and miss. If I got out my scratcher early enough, I would get the paper, and as by luck would have it. And other times my mum used to send me doing the paper sometimes, you know, for the Sunday Mail or whatever. If it was something major, I'd be like, here, get me the paper, because sometimes, especially on a Sunday, it would be hard. It'd be even harder to get, because I definitely wouldn't get out of my bed on a Sunday morning to get it. So I would have to get that sent. But I remember getting the copy of the paper and looking at the fox and looking at the stuff there. I can remember it clear as day, and a fox just walked in front of me. Or the boy at the old Celtic Park, when he used to come around with a macaroon, get the macaroon and the spearmint shoes, the macaroon bar and the spearmint shoes.
Do you know, I was fortunate enough to, you know, go and see Celtic when, you know, you still had the jungle.
Yeah, me too.
And it was the first time I ever seen somebody piss down steps.
Aye.
Because you heard all the stories, like, you know, watch your back pocket.
I know.
I'm going piss in the bucket. A bottle of piss flying halfway across, you know. I mean, we did go and see some real shitholes. I mean, Hampden, when you seen them all covered. Remember standing underneath a big pylon?
Yeah, that's it, the big pylons. Aye.
And it's pissing at the rain. And if you're going to Tynecastle, Jesus. The toilets there were, I don't think prisoner of war camps would have had toilets as bad as that.
Did there used to be see the pylon? That was a pylon for the floodlights, yeah? Did there used to be an electricity pylon? I think there was an electricity. I can't remember the fucking
but
the old, I remember, did they let's see, did they build an extension to the roof onto the Celtic end at some point, aye?
No. They didn't, because then it was the time where I think they were going to rebuild it.
But they had a wee bit of roof over the Celtic end at one bit, they didn't, and then there was a wee bit, and I'm sure they extended it a bit, did they know at one point? Maybe I'll get back to the...
No, I don't think they did. It was up to the Rangers end that they had all the cover. I'll tell you, the quality of stadiums we used to have were fucking shocking.
The worst one used to be Hampden. I remember that fucking game where, is it David Robertson scored? And they cunts...
That's the one I'm talking about. It was pissing the rain that night, wasn't it? They won 1-0.
That was in Hampden.
No. Was it not McCoy scored and David Robertson got sent off?
Could well be.
They were down to 10 men after 10 minutes.
That was it. I wonder how that name Robertson came out there. Aye. And that was, I know, and that soaked me, absolutely fucking soaked. At fucking Hampden, mate. They gave us that end that had never had a fucking cover on. No, but I'm thinking back, I mean, some of the old fans, but at Celtic Park, they never had a cover on at the Celtic roof. And then I'm sure they extended it after fucking...
Aye, no, you're right with Celtic Park. No, at Hampden we didn't have the cover, but Celtic Park,
I don't know. And that Hampden, I mean, at least when you could stand at Hampden, I mean, it was a bit different. But now, when they ask you to sit down at Hampden on that slope, it's the most fucking, it's an aberration for a stadium, isn't it?
I think it's nearly as big a waste of money as getting Rangers shares or Sevco shares.
I know.
It's a joking stadium, I'm telling you. It's rotten. It's terrible. Murrayfield should have been improved, and that money should have went into youth or something like that. Or Campbell Ogilvy's pocket, which indirectly would have been Rangers anyway. So,
well, the sensible thing would have been, to be, instead of having it at one IPOX, I mean, Celtic had built their ground by then anyway, so they should have just said, right, every alternative game, one here, one there, it stops the fucking problem. Save the money for the stadium, like you said. I mean, okay, you've got that option of Murrayfield, but then there's 3 alternate between fucking 3. and then do
Yeah,
what
the
they do in
Italians
Spain.
don't have an international stadium
Exactly.
for only international games, do they? You know.
And even Spain, even although they've got their capital, they take their games to different fucking places as well. So, I mean, why was that never ever fucking put down? Fuck Hampden over and let's take it, play it Celtic, fucking IPOX, take it up to fucking Sheep Shaggers. I mean, there must be times when we can only get 20,000 or whatever. We'll take it up to Aberdeen then if we're going to play Liechtenstein and only 20,000 tickets are going to get sold. Then there you go. March it up to Aberdeen, get the Tartan Army up there, take it to their headquarters, know what I mean? It saves them a bus journey down in a weekday night, or then into Motherfield if we're going to play Italy and we're going to get more than the 50, 60,000, then boom, into Motherfield for whatever that holds, know what I mean? But it's
Did you go and see Scotland?
Mate, nah, never. No anymore. I gave up on them when I was a 10, 11-year-old, mate. I've never... The last time I went to a Scotland game was in Kenny Dalglish's 100th game against East Germany. There you go, in the enclosure, in the main stand. But an old fucking, I think it was a school trip or something. I was in primary school. There you go. I was in primary school. It was a year after I'd been to Spain. I'm sure it was just a year after being to Spain in '83.
Then, wasn't it?
It was '83 because the reason why, because it was a primary school trip. We went with school. Time with the school team, and we were in the enclosure. So it would have been primary, and fucking hell, and that was his last game. And then at that point, when was it? Fucking for the rest of the time, I've never been to a Scotland. No, I think I went to the Scotland Ireland game, but I never went into the Scotland end for some reason. And I was supporting Scotland, and I had my Celtic scarf on. So I don't know. That's my last Scotland game. That was my turncoat experience. I was the one. Was it Ireland won that? Ireland won 1-0 that game at Hampden, didn't they?
Did they? I don't know.
I can't. But that time, fucking hell, my memory's gone for that one. But I think Ireland came here and we beat Scotland. I'm sure we did. Or was it a draw? Can't remember. But that was going back. I'm sure I was in second. That was about a couple of years after that, and that was my point. That the last one was in Kenny Dalglish played, and then fucking Ireland came back, maybe even '86 or '87.
What do you think about Kenny Dalglish? Do you think he deserves legend status at Celtic? I don't.
No, because he had his best years. He was a legend at Liverpool. And
I think when turning and going to Ibrox, remember he went there as some kind of scout or something like that.
That's remember right, for a day or a game or something, went he went there, aye. Under Murray tried to recruit him or something, didn't he? But
correct, aye. And he was there for a small period of time. You know, I'd no idea if he got votes to get into Celtic's best team. He should never be allowed near the park.
I think it was because of what he did after he left Celtic, and because he came through Celtic, then maybe a lot of Celtic fans were, I don't know, maybe, well, holding him on to be one of ours, know what I mean? And like part of that success came as a Celt who did it, mate. I don't know, maybe that's what he was held up for.
I'll tell you, I was most disappointed Anton Rogan wasn't in that team.
Anton Rogan.
I think he got mixed up if he was playing Gaelic football or football sometimes.
And what about that banner that goes everywhere with the poor boy that died? It was called after Anton Rogan. That's beautiful. Every time I see that, I love that.
Yeah.
Most of the away games, the boy, what's his full name again? Rogan?
Trevino.
No, it's not. I'm thinking that's the name that's coming to me. The Rogan, Trevino, and Hogan
Trevino.
name, but it's no.
Yeah.
The Rogan. What's he called again? Is it Anton Rogan? No, he's called Anton Rogan, isn't it? Or is it Rogan? What's it? Oh, the wee boy died. I can't remember. I love seeing that banner. They take it. I remember reading about it in one of the magazines or something about it. You know that they've been taking it there since he was a wee boy. That it was named after Anton Rogan. I think it was an article in one of Matt McGlone's magazines with either Anton Rogan or someone from the family or whatever, or someone who takes the banner. two of them, and I remember one of my wee mates who went to Seville, and he went, at the time he's been on my show a couple of times. I've known him since a wee boy, and he's my oldest pal, and he actually went, he was in the army for a period, and I'd lost contact with him, but I would always get him through, he lived in the same street where my ma stays still, and what would you call it? He's went to Seville with a big massive banner for his best mate who died just a month before it, in between the Boa Vista game and the what would you call it? And he'd went to every game up into the semi-final.
Paul something was his name.
Aye, do you know him? Aye. Don't say any surname if you dare. How do you know? No, the boy, my best mate is Paul. Aye, but don't say any surname in case he's trackable. But what would you call it? The boy who died. I can't remember his name because it wasn't one of my friends. It was a friend through my wee mate. Aye, but his mate died up just before that, and he put a big banner there. You know what I mean? And for me,
you know what? That was that not on the DVD? Celtic fans going to Seville.
With the big banner, probably was, mate. Aye.
I'm sure I've seen something about that.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, well, was one of my wee mates. He went everywhere, but for that season he went across, and it was in it. I remember he told me about it. It was the big banner they had at the thing when he said it was in a picture. It probably was him, because I think he said it was thing with. And his mate went to every game up to it, and then sadly died, and then he took that banner away. But that's what Celtic means to a lot of people. That it's not about the team. It is a team, and to a small degree, that's the thing that unites us all and brings us all together. But that's not the main thing. It's, the reason why I'm doing my broadcast now, and I'll say in memory and respect to a good brother who helped defend me one night on Scotty McClue's Edinburgh radio station one night when he came on defending us against some zombie who'd tore into us after I'd tore into them. It was all free speech, and then it was him that says, Tommy, you should be doing your own shit. If these bastards cut you off, I wouldn't do it. And sadly, I never got to see a match with him before he died, but he only came into my life in the last couple of years of his life. But he was a wonderful guy, and the inspiration he gave me was, he sat there organising groups on Facebook for people like himself who had lost, I think his group was called Step Forward Amputees, and it was all about helping people come to terms with losing their arm or their leg or whatever. And he was there at morning, noon and night with his wee group. We would set up and help people out, be positive, and even although he was going through a shit time himself and going through a lot, and he loved the Celtic, and he always said that his wee uncle was a Lisbon Lion. And I did believe him, I never doubted him. But on the day of his funeral, and I sat 2 rows behind the good brother who sits in the Celtic bench, John Clark. I sat behind him at my good brother's funeral, old Eddie Martin,
Yeah.
And that's what it brings home to me. Any time I go to Celtic Park, and I think my wee uncle, God rest him, for Ardoyne, Uncle Jamesy, who used to he took me to my first games in Celtic Real Madrid and Celtic Huns, and that's what it's about. When I support Celtic, I think of the good people who have stood with me or have supported them alongside us, and that's for me what means Celtic to me. I mean, the people who have lost in the period of my life that shared those experiences, and that's how this year has been so beautiful for me to sit here and watch and think of my old friends, that they'd be so happy seeing the pain that these bastards are in as well.
Do you know, talking about, like legends, one man that, had a big influence on me as well. If you recall last night, I told you I was at a school and had a lot of trouble.
Uh-huh.
Well, when I was about 16, it was my brother's 21st, and Roy Aiken, Tommy Burns, Jack McGinn all came down to it. And Tommy could see that I wasn't too happy, and he pulled me aside, and he said, "Are you all right?" and I started chatting away for, I mean, I'd say about a good hour away from everyone, and told them exactly what was going on. He said, "Do your parents know?" I said, "No, I wouldn't tell them." Yeah, out of pride. And he said, just put his hand on my shoulder and said, "You remember what you are and stand proud." Just those words. You know, he's such a humble man.
Yeah.
I think Tommy Burns was a fantastic Celtic man.
There was a part in the book that I read. It was what's that boy called? Can't remember it, but there was different chapters. Damn it. Bradley's his name, Bradley, and it was the second part. He's brought out a few, and it was beautiful. And the last one was the last chapter was for Tommy Burns, and it was a beautiful phrase in it at the back, and he says, you know, we are different from the other club from the city, the other club from the other side of the city. We are more than the sum parts of the hatred of the other team. You know, we're more than just hating the other team for just hating them because of who they are. And it seems that Rangers, their existence, their existence just to hate us for, you know, there's a Timmy, there's a Fenian, there's a Tague, there's a, you know, and we should be trampled on, and they're the people, and we are the subspecies and subhuman, you know, and all the context that comes with that. And so Tommy Burns, as he said, you know, we are more important than that. And what for me that meant is we have to rise above their bigotry, sectarianism, parochialism, whatever you want to call it, their hatred. You know, they've got an irrational hatred for people who are different to them, you know, and we aren't that way inclined. We've got to always be looking to be an inclusive club that, you know, don't look to find ways of division, look for finds of ways to come together, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, do you remember when it was the Bosnians? Yeah, it was Bosnians, I think. Refugees came over to Glasgow and they were getting a hard time.
Aye, in the early 90s, the Bosnians, aye.
And Celtic invited a few families to the game and marched them around the stadium.
That's right, aye, I remember that.
Aye. All applauding.
Aye.
Imagine how those people felt. They got nowhere to turn to, and then all of a sudden this club sticks their hand out, and all of a sudden you become part of that family. It's the principles, like we said last night. It truly is Catholic, universal, because it can apply anywhere, and it doesn't matter what. I mean, I'll tell you what was weird. I was walking in Greenwich with my girlfriend, and this wee Sri Lankan guy comes round the corner, head to toe in a brand new Celtic tracksuit. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then I'm stuck away out in the east coast of England. We went away for the weekend. This wee boy, Chinese lad, walks round the corner. Never know, with a Celtic top on. And, you know, you want to go over to these guys and, excuse me, do you mind, could just ask you what made you become a Celtic fan? I was over in Beirut there in the summer, yeah?
Uh-huh.
And I walked into a wine shop, and like on the Friday, and I was speaking to the chap there, and, you know, really briefly, and got my wine, went away and came back the next day, and we're starting to chat. He said, "Oh, you Celtic fan? My little brother is a Celtic fan. This family are from Marseille, yeah? His team is Marseille, but his little brother," he was saying, "he's just loves Celtic. That's the only team he supports is Celtic." This little French kid, never been to Scotland, for some reason just supports Celtic.
Brilliant. I'm just looking on the interactions here. Brother Glasgow's.
No worries, I'm going to head off, my man. I'm going to head off.
No problem. I'm just looking at a picture just to confirm, right? The picture, my thoughts was that the full part of the Celtic end was never covered, because when it pitched down, particularly if it wasn't full, everybody would rush to the bit that was covered, and there was just a wee section at the bit, the front that wasn't covered, so it wasn't a wee section, it was a bit fucking nearly halfway up where everybody would run back. I just remember that, and it would get soaked, and yet the fucking zombie end would have full cover. How the fuck, is anybody got an explanation for that? We'll leave you on that point, brother, to find it. If anybody can find why the zombies get a full fucking cover, and as Glasgow's Green and White's just posted on my Twitter here, and I'll retweet it, the picture from the old Celtic end, you can see quite clearly that the roof didn't full fucking cover us. What the fuck? It's just never covered the full bit, but I'm pretty sure that at one point they never even had that, and that was an afterthought as well. But why did they not give a full fucking cover, the cheapskate bastards? But anyway, listen, it's been brilliant talking to you again, as usual, Richard, so thanks again for calling us, mate, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Chucky and Mocara.
And when one last thing, who are you taking tomorrow? Give us, who do you want, who do you think we'll get, and who do you want to avoid?
I wouldn't want any, look, in terms of, fans, I'd love Borussia Dortmund because they've got a great set of fans, but their team, if you got to look at it, we want to get through. I think we've got a great chance against Man U, and I have a real suspicion we're going to get Man U. I think anyone talking about Malaga, hello, they're a fantastic side, and it's real quick football they play. PSG, a very good side as well. I think to get through to quarterfinals, we need an English team, because I think that current Man U team going to Celtic Park, the bottle would go there, I think.
Could be right, mate. Could be right.
Anyway.
Could be right.
Take anyone, right. We'll take on the world.
That's it. Keep the faith, bro. Enjoyed your chat, mate, and God willing, we'll speak soon, yeah? Hail, hail.
Okay. Talk to you, Mocara. Cheers.
Cheers, bye. There we go, on 88 minutes. Religion doesn't matter. Nope, you're right, Brian. Religion doesn't matter at all. And yeah, you can join the show. It's 2:42 in the morning. And 1 AM Crackpot show. Let's see here. And the brother T, we've got him on here from Australia. Are you going to get a mic, brother? What will be your phone line? If you get a phone, I can phone your phone wherever you are in Australia. You say Nicola Amoruso, so wasn't it Big Lorenzo? If you're there, T, in Australia, hit me with your number. I get free calls to mobiles, and no, not to mobiles in Australia, no. Don't give me your mobile, that'll take my credit away. I've got a subscription for landlines. You can phone me on my Melbourne number. Is that local to you? Probably about as local as Moscow is to me, probably, where you are. I heard Australia's a big land. So my Melbourne number is 039013 6767. If that's any good to you, phone me from a landline on that number. Hang up. Hang yourself up on that number. Phone it up. Anybody at all out there, phone whatever number is particular to your region of the world. If you're in Australia, the number I just gave you, which is 039013 6767. If you're in Dublin, you can get me on 01254 4567. If you're in Boston, 617 963 0967. What's that? I'm on a mobile in Sydney, Australia. Hail, hail, Jim. You're on a mobile in Sydney, Australia? Well, phone this number now and I'll phone you straight back, cockle picker. Phone that number just now. Melbourne 03 9013 6767. We've got credit. It's out with the subscription. But I'll afford a 2-minute call to you, brother. If you're over in Sydney, phone that Melbourne number 03 9013 6767. I do believe that is the right number. I hope it's the right number. Let's see. Is it in this one? Yep, 0390136767. If you're down under, you can phone me on that number. It's a local national rate call. It's not an international call. You can come online. You can talk to the whole Celtic family. If there's no many people listening live now, then tomorrow the show goes across all the various Twitter places and forums and such like. Here we go. We've got a brother phoning all the way.
Hey, hi, how are you? It's Jim here.
Hello, how you doing? How you doing, Jim?
Oh, I'm not too bad. I'm out doing my Christmas shopping.
Are you?
I've just got a minutes break. The kids are playing in the playground. I just thought I'd go to speaker season and the live shows on.
And whereabouts are you?
Oh, in Sydney.
Sydney, what's the weather like?
Oh, it's really sticky today, so it's, I don't know, I'm guessing it's about 32 or 33 degrees.
Oh, stop it, don't say any
But
more.
it's a wee bit humid, but it's okay. I can't wait for this draw tonight. It's on live on TV over here.
Is it?
At 9:30 tonight, ESPN in Australia showing it live.
What time is it over there just now anyway?
2:45 in the afternoon. So we're 11 hours in front of you.
Bloody hell, that's
So I'm
brilliant.
guessing it's for the coffee in the morning or there just now.
So are you all set for Christmas then, aye?
Oh, I'm doing some of the shopping just now. I've got my wee 4-year-old with me now, and
Brilliant.
I say we're doing a Christmas shop for his mum and some of his cousins and stuff like that.
So how long you been doing there for? You sound like
I've been in Australia for about 20 years. I left Scotland, God, in 1984. So I'm 49 now, so I've been in Scotland a long time. But you know, you get back whenever you can, that sort of thing.
You've not lost your accent anyway, mate. You've not lost your accent.
No. There's a lot of Scottish people out here as well. There's a Celtic support stuff here in Western Sydney. Actually, I met, it was a really funny thing, about 2 years ago. I bumped into a guy just in the street here who was in the same class at school as me, in East Kilbride. And I hadn't seen him for 30 years. And he only lives about 2 miles away from me, and he's been here for 20 years. So there's a couple of guys that always keep each other's accent going.
So do you go along to a Celtic club to watch the games at times then?
Sometimes, to be honest with you, most of the time they'll come into my house.
Right.
We still get Satanta though here, not the same as the UK, but the Irish version. And that'll play the Premier League games. You've got to pay an extra subscription on top of your normal Sky subscription for that. So we usually get guys come into my house to watch the games.
Brilliant.
Or I can try and get a dodgy internet feed or something like that. But I managed to see most of the games most of the weeks.
Brilliant. And so, when's the last time? Did you come over much for the games? Have you been over recently?
The last time I was over was actually just nearly 3 years ago. It wasn't the best circumstances. My dad died, and that was the last time I was back in Scotland for the funeral. I was over there for a week. I managed to catch one game. I managed to actually catch a game that he got introduced to the crowd. It was a crap game. It just was decisive. The weather was terrible. I don't miss it.
That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing about here. The weather's terrible. So you enjoy the weather over there. You
know what? I prefer the winter here to the summer. The winter here is about 21 degrees sort of thing usually. But the summer can get too hot sometimes. You can have a week that's at 40 degrees at a stretch, and it's just too hot to go outside.
Right.
But generally all round, yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
So what job are you able to tell us? What you working over there? What are you doing for a...
I work in electrical retail. No, I just work for in sales in electrical retail.
How's your reception over there? Is it? Is there much scope for work for anybody who's keen to get out of Blighty?
It's not really hit here really that bad. I mean, I know it's hit everywhere in the world, but man, I look at some places, and there's no been a massive drought here or nothing like that. They've been pretty good. There's not been any real massive drama happening out here.
Fucking hell, the Wains are causing a riot there. The Wains are causing a riot there. I better let you go back. The Wains are causing a riot there. What's going down there with the Wains?
Yeah, but no, nice to talk to you. I do listen to your show, but it was just happened to go on live. I usually catch you later on.
No, thanks a lot, mate.
I'm usually at work when the show's on.
I could do it all different times now, but thanks for phoning, mate.
I know.
Pass on a good message, mate. Pass on a good message. We're always hearing there's other people doing it as well, the hail media and all that. So, no, thanks for supporting us,
it was funny, I actually just got on to speak on that accident about 3 months ago. It was my brother who lives in Copenhagen in Denmark.
Right.
Got me on to it. I knew, like I said, you do all you do is just spread the word. And there's so many folk here I know that just listen to the shows, or the hail media ones. So and yourself and the Gelly Boy and Big G and stuff like that. So it is good, because even you go back 2 or 3 years ago, I'm never nuts about celebrities doing what I was about 5 years ago, because the shows like yourself now are so much more accessible. But 5 years ago when I lived here, you could hardly find anything. You'd be hunting on the internet to try and find anything, but the internet was, for 10 years ago, there was nothing. You sometimes get a snippet in the paper, you might hear the result in the paper, but 3 days later, the rest of the game's played. But yeah, I think most of the guys here that actually Celtic fans have been away from home for a long time are so much more into it again than what they were 15 years ago, because it's so accessible now, and the shows that you're in.
That's good. I'm glad I'm happy.
Thanks. Yeah, no, keep up the good work, and I'll speak to you soon again.
God bless, Jim. Take care and all the best to the family, right?
You too. See you later. Bye-bye.
Cheerio. God bless. Thank you. There we go. Claire Campbell, my boy is in Bondi. Claire, get me his number, get him on the line. Let's get it happening. Get your boy on the line here for Bondi Beach. I want Claire Campbell, I want your son on this line for my next show, talking about Bondi Beach, putting shrimps on the barbie down in Bondi Way. That's the way forward. Bondi fecking beach. Take me there. I'm sick of this cold, desolate winterland. Oh, what do you say? 32 degrees? 32 in Sydney? Oh man, you can't even say that's too hot. I mean, I know it is hot, it's sweltering time, but no, just a little bit of vitamin D. Just 5 minutes of that sun blasting your skin. That's all, I never go in for anything, but just a wee walk to the car, a wee thing with 5 minutes, boom, wee bit of energy. Oh, that'd be lovely. And just go and sit drinking jelly and ice cream milkshakes in the shade or under the air conditioning, waiting for the night time to chill the place down. I remember I went over the Middle East a few years ago, just like that, over 40 odd degrees, 50 degrees, whatever it was. But then at night time, you wait for the night time to come along and the temperature drops. And then you think, we have got a temperate climate here in Britain, it's not too bad. Not too hot, not too cold for too long a period. We don't get tropical storms, hurricanes, such like. So yeah, not got too bad here in Blighty, just a bit feckin' freezing at this time of year. Polar bears drop dead. And that. Right, it's what's that, Jim? I'm for fucking seating here. What's that? Get this show profitable, move to Sydney. Move to Sydney. You know, I was close to get. I took that Melbourne number. I was toying with the idea to get a Sydney number. I would have made it a nice local call for you there, Jim. Sydney number. See, because the other night there when that was it Melbourne Tim was on, and so I was thinking, where's the most Tims? Is it in Melbourne or Sydney? But well, that's good. I'm glad that fellow Celtic fans across the world are able to get information Celtic so much more easier now. If only you could get me a job over there, get me a job in Sydney. Oh, 30 odd degrees. Like you said, the winter's the best time at 21 degrees. I mean, that's just beautiful. I heard that Melbourne is more or less almost like here? Not as bad as, a bit milder in the winter, but lovely summers. Yeah, 'cause my cousin was over there working for an accounting company for a couple of years in Melbourne. New Zealand. My mum went on a tour of New Zealand and Australia a few years ago, came back saying New Zealand would be the place that she would recommend anybody to migrate to. When I said I would think I migrate, she's like, no, it's a bad place, don't go, it's horrible. What's going down? Jay. Right, there we go. JJ, you're added, my man. You're added, there you go, you're in. Join the crew, brother. Give me a call. It's free to call this Crackpot show. We don't charge anyone. We've gave you a number in Australia. We've got a number in Boston. We've got a number in Ireland. We've got a number in Glasgow. Look at the numbers I've gave you. Glasgow 416 1888. We do one ring stings, yes indeed. Tin foils coded up to the max. We take a one ring sting. I see your number. I press a wee button. We get you back on. If the line's shite, we hang up. I say hold on. We phone you straight back. We get it on. It's pure hardcore ragamuffin styly and a tinfoil covered Skoda. We've not even got a wee dongle anymore. We're ripping off a Wi-Fi. I found a place where I can rip off a Wi-Fi. You'll never guess the place I'm ripping off. But, God will forgive me, hopefully. Yes, because I was having a problem setting it up, doing the show with my calls through the Skype and the software, unless it was through the Wi-Fi. So, and hopefully the calls are coming through nice and clear. The call quality brought in no small measure by a good brother called Josh Gaffney, who helped set it up through my Spreaker and my Skype. And the Skype software package, able to bring you all these numbers, and you can phone me any time of the day or night, and you can get me on 0141 416 1888. You can get me on Dublin 01 254 4567, Boston 617 963 0967, on a new number Melbourne 03 9013 6767. And a good brother Jim there up in Sydney, he phoned us on that number. You could also get us on the Skype, just add Tommy in Glasgow. A good brother there just added us on. And Maynard, where's Maynard? Are you there, brother? Let's see. Seamus. Right. Right, so hold on, close this up. Yeah, the wee computer seems to be running quite stable here. Sound levels seem to be okay. Shall we get to the... I'm reading here, what's this? Gold Coast. Oh, there's a private conversation. I'll no read this out. I was about to start reading it. There's not much private you're putting on here, Jim and Claire. Loads of fans here in Sydney. Melbourne is fine. Hold on, I'm trying to scroll this down, how do you... Hold on. Right, okay, right. Right, so let's scroll it down. Irish Scots expats. Right. Little Manly Beach. So did you go over there much yourself, Claire, to see your boy over there? Yeah, Bondi Beach. God. Just thinking about warmer climes actually makes me feel nice and warm in this cold, desolate wasteland. You lived there for 3 years? Great for young children. Going back to live soonish? So has your boy got a cafe, did you say? You got citizenship over there? Wow. Yeah, my wee cousin, not the one who was working for the accounting company, but another one, he was living over there and he liked it. It was just for a year or something, but yeah, when his visa was run up, you get a year's visa, and it was running up, and he wanted to stay, but then it turned out his father is from New Zealand. He was born in New Zealand, his mum's from there, and so that meant he was able, while he was there, his mum managed to get him an application form for it, and she got a New Zealand passport. And so I think they're allowed residence when you're from New Zealand, or a New Zealand passport. So after him going there for a year through the account of his dad, he was able to get that visa. And apparently that's one of the most sought after passports, isn't it? New Zealand passport. And the island one, I think, as well. Because they're two non-aligned countries, stable countries, who don't get involved in any illegal wars of aggression. You get a good sponsor and you're in. Well, funnily enough, my Uncle James, God rest him, for Ardoyne, who took me to the Celtic games, his son is a priest over in Australia. Or hold on, was it his son's son, his nephew? One of them's a priest over there actually, and one of them, was that James Sherry? James Sherry, that's Sherry's away for Ardoyne in Belfast. And I can't remember, were they cousins? The Sherrys were cousins, I'm not sure. I can't remember. Yeah, I've got a relative somewhere over in Australia who said they would vouch for me once before. So yeah, is that all you need? You just get someone like that to vouch for you? See, I don't know about Australia. It's never really appealed to me. Don't know why. New Zealand appeals to me for some reason, but no Australia. I don't know. I've just never seen myself wanting to live in Australia. Canada. I fancied Canada for a while. I fancied America at one point. The Middle East. Anywhere but Blighty is the way I feel now, I suppose. You need to see Sydney. Next week should be cold, and you can't beat a Scottish New Year. Oh, see, I don't partake in the old swally anymore, so all this New Year carry on. Nah. What's the time? 3 o'clock, right? Look at the time. Is it 3:05? I better pull myself away from you lovely people and go and get a few shekels in for the Crackpot revolution. The Mayan calendar finishes in a day, so I've got a day left to pass this revolution of crackpotism. So I better go out and get some shekels there for the last day. Feed the family one last day. So, yeah, a little bit of silence there brought to us by the Noise Abatement Society. We'll join you tomorrow at some point, God willing. Maybe I should phone the Australian Tourist Board. Was that Tommy get to Aussie? You're not missing anything but Celtic family. No, I don't know about Australia. I don't know. The one thing is, it's just too fucking far away. I know, look at that. I mean, I've now sitting here in Britain, got an Australian number. You can now sit there and speak to a good brother anywhere on the planet. A brother phoned from New Mexico last night. I know the same brother phoned again in London, and then we've got a brother over there in Sydney. So it's a small world, right enough, but I don't know. I don't know why I've never had the inkling to go and live in Australia for some reason. I think it's a distance high, but then if I've thought about doing that distance, I think is New Zealand even further? And New Zealand's the same, isn't it? And then plus a little bit extra. Yeah, I've had the inclination to go to New Zealand, but I remember, yeah, one of my other cousins. I've never had any brothers or sisters myself, but I had loads of fucking cousins. He turned out to be a pilot, my pilot cousin. He went over to New Zealand to actually live for a few years. And he recommended New Zealand as well, and he said I would like that place. Fun enough, my mum, as I say, she loved New Zealand. She liked Australia, but she loved New Zealand. And I'll leave you with a funny story from my mum going about New Zealand. Her and my auntie, as I said, they were doing the trek for 2 weeks, and they rented a car somewhere in New Zealand. In their wee smalls, we call them politely. They put them on the back shelf of the motor, and they're driving along somewhere in New Zealand. And I think my auntie put the window down, or my mum put the window down, and before my auntie could scream, put it up, they're all falling out the back window. And she's did that, they've looked around, and their smalls have ended up on a bloody big Arctic behind them. On the radiator around the window, they flew out the back stingway and ended up there. So 2 wee old pensioners from an Irish background driving about New Zealand lost their smalls when my mum opened the back window and it all flew onto the back of the front of an Arctic. And I'm still struggling, Brother Richard, to think of a funny story about Celtic. I need to think of that. My mind's still here in the frozen, desolate waste ground of old Scotia. I need to turn the engine on in a second to see if I get some heat on here. Hold on. That's me. The motor has started up, demystifying the window here. My wee bonnet on with my wee condenser mic headphone. So nasal talkers, low. Oh, I do, Claire. I've got some Scottish. Right, I'm reading your conversation here, Jim and Claire. And I'm conscious as the minute I pull this show off, then that's it, the conversation stops there. Well, listen, as soon as this window demystifies, JJ, I've added you, JJ, thanks for adding me there, mate, on the old Skyper, innit? I think you did. You want to come on and have a chat with us, JJ? You added. Is it added? Hold on. Got you, mate, got you, aye. Sorted, mate, so I've got you there. Right. And also, yes, a big thank you to the Vanguard Bears. Vanguard Bears. I've been voted third in some poll behind the good brother from Donegal, Phil McGillivan, the author of Downfall, and another good brother, Scott Zine, who came second, and I've come in third. Right. So Scott Zine, who came second in a Vanguard poll for Crackpot Mad Celtic fans. I've came third. So I've challenged Scott Zine in the best huddleboard fashion to a square go, a square jig at Crawfoot Roundabout tomorrow, high noon. If he thinks he's getting second place ahead of my third, without a square go at Crawfoot Roundabout, we ain't relying on the zombies' decision of who's a bigger, crazier bastard. We got to rely on proper Celtic men to make a decision like that. I'm not disputing the bull, Phil. If they're calling him madder than me, crazier than me, then c'est la vie. I will dispute it if anybody wants to call that, it's yours inquiry, yes. I'll take the claim of being crazier, but the brother deserved it. He's wrote a book and he brought many exclusives against him, so takes a dairy off me. I don't want to be the most hated Celtic fan out there, but if honour was to ever befall me, then I would be a badge of honour that I would wear with pride, the utmost pride, to be hated by the zombies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Send all your hate letters to me. Send all your hateful twits to me. Don't send anything to Lenny or all good Celtic fans. Send them to a crackpot like me. Right, we're in your website here, Scott Zine, and I hope I'll see you in a few hours after this draw for a square jig. Right, 1 minute 20, we're out of here. Hail, hail. The Queen's in jail, sitting on a parcel, finger up her. You know the words. Right, we're away. Catch you soon. Tomorrow, no doubt, or later today. Hail, hail. God bless.
Interest-free money, interest-free money. We demand it, we want it now. When do we want it? Now. We want interest-free. What do we want? Interest-free money. We want it now. Now. Give us our money. Interest-free. We want our money. Interest-free. 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 Interest-free.